internet.
Counselor, you seem to be having some serious issues, but let me welcome the most celebrated soccer star, James Debbah. Thanks for joining us tonight, Jimmy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
With the iconic number 10 jersey. Minister Bangalu, iconic number 10 jersey. You didn't retire that number 10, though.
No, but it's impossible. No way in the world, Patrick, no way in the world people retire national team players jersey. No way in the world.
But the number 14 was retired. I mean, just off the cuff.
Well, that's unprecedented. I have not seen that before. No way in the world. You can check. The great Brazil, Pelé number 10 will never retire. Neymar used the number 10. You go in France, the same. Mbappe, number 10.
The same thing.
And that jersey was worn by Michel Platini. You don't retire national team jerseys. Only club teams. If Mother Barrow won't retire my jersey,
I learn new thing. There you go. Folks, you
see, if Mother Barrow won't retire my jersey number 10, that I will appreciate.
No, but even Mother Barrow. Anyway, we'll come back to you, James. But Minister Bangalu, I want to throw some questions out to you. And my questions will go towards sports and some other areas. The very first thing I want to ask is, maybe you will just take note of the questions and then respond, or perhaps I'll ask and you respond. The lighting system at the Samuel Kayando Sports Complex during the last county meet was completely bad. As a matter of fact, games were not played certain hours. Games were forced to penalties without the usual extra 30 minutes. I don't know what's the status of it. We are moving into another county meet. We need to know where we are with that, including the electronic scoreboard. The next question would be, I see a structure being erected in the SKD Sports Complex yard, just on the main road there, that structure, but it's in a fence. Some would say it's a hotel they are building there. Some other people say that's some other structure. You care to tell us what exactly they are building there? The third one is that Chinese hotel there, the Chinese hotel. Our understanding is that that place belongs to the SKD Sports Complex. So if that is true, what arrangement did you all enter into? I know government is continuity. Did you all enter into to get that particular place? And the final one would be the garbage that is concentrated just outside of there's somewhere there that is so irritating. You know, when you're coming right on the road there, I think the police people are just in the fence there outside. There's huge stockpile of garbage, and that place is almost always filled with garbage outside there. What is it that the ministry is doing to be able to deal with that? Thank you. Yes, you are, Minister. I can hear you now.
All right. So the issue of the floodlight, you need some assurance, right? That the next county meet will be placed on a light. So take it from me that the next county meet will be placed on a digitalized floodlights. All right? So that's my answer. So by July, the technicians from Holland will be here to ensure they do a complete rehabilitation of the lights. And before the end of July, hopefully, they will be finished. So I can assure you that the next county meet will be played not 2 o'clock, will be played under the lights in the night like normal days. You talk about the facility that is being constructed that looks like a hotel outside, right at the front of the ministry. Somebody called me the last time and said, why you give the place out to Chinese, to Indian people to do hotel? Let me just inform the public through this media that structure is owned by the Ministry of Youth and Sports. It has been constructed through a partnership arrangement with the EU through UNIDO, and it is actually called the National Hospitality Training Hotel. It is for the government, it is for the Ministry of Youth and Sports. It's actually for our school, the BDOTC, the Business Development Occupational Training Center. The whole idea is for the graduates from that school to use that as a training center. They will run it like a hotel, but they will also be using it for training purposes. So that structure is owned 100% by the government. It will be turned over to us. It's being constructed through a partnership with the EU and UNIDO, and that structure will be turned over to the government perhaps in the next few months. So it's not owned by any private individual. You talk about the hotel, the Golden Gate Hotel, right?
Yes, sir.
So the Golden Gate Hotel is a complex one. So it was constructed years back along with the stadium. The total cost of the hotel, especially the renovation after the war, was put at around $8 million plus. So the government, through the Ministry of Finance and NIC, entered a concession agreement with Golden Gate.
Which government?
To do the renovation. Yes. Well,
which government? Which government?
Which government? Which government?
No, that was since 2008. 2008. So it was the Madam Sirleaf government. So they entered an arrangement with Golden Gate to renovate the hotel and then run it. But they were supposed to be making some remittance to the government. So between 2008 and 2018, the first 10 years, they are supposed to remit, based on the agreement that at least I have, to remit $200,000 per annum to the government. And then from 2018 to 2028, they were to remit $220,000 per annum. And then we are told that it got extended by 10 more years. And so from 2028, they extended it to 2038. And between that period, Golden Gate is supposed to be remitting $275,000. Now, whether or not they are remitting that money to government, I don't know. The Ministry of Youth and Sports was not part of the negotiation. It was the Ministry of Finance and the National Investment Commission because they treated it as a concession. But I agree with people who say that that hotel should be benefiting, even for example, our national team. But there's no arrangement in the agreement that says so. So in my mind, it calls for review. It calls for review. The only thing it says is that if the government is supposed to use the facility, they will be giving 25% discount. That's all it says. But
what is the lifespan of that agreement? What is the lifespan of that agreement?
It's now up to 2038, based on the agreement I have. It's now up to 2038. And in my mind, it calls for serious review. But there's nothing that shows that the Ministry of Youth and Sport was part of that. It was the Ministry of Finance and the NIC representing the government that signed the agreement with Golden Gate. And so it is a complex situation. We have forwarded the documents to the Ministry of Justice to kindly review and advise us. Currently, Patrick, when the national team, the Lone Star, is playing, we have to take them to our LJ or Colony Hotel. We owing these people currently huge sums of money. So if we had a real good arrangement, the national team could be benefiting. The national team should be benefiting rather than go and pay thousands of dollars. Just today, I forwarded a reminder to the Minister of Finance of almost 200 and some more thousand US dollars that we owe various hotels for the national team, the Lone Star. So that's all I can say about what I see, which is a very scanty agreement. It's not detailed. I think it's just 2 or 3 sheets. That's what I had. So I forwarded it to the Justice Minister to look at it. But I believe it calls for serious review. Now, you talk about garbage, and you are right. And there is something that I have called the PCC head. Mayor Bestman and myself have had meetings. Patrick, every day we clean that place, the next day, overnight, you have garbage there. Now, we called the police inspector general, Gregory. We said, look, firstly, let me inform you that where the police is, that's where we want to construct the new Ministry of Youth and Sports. We have done a blueprint. We cannot continue being here in the stadium. It's even against FIFA and CAF standard requirement. You can have 400 to 500 people having access to various outlets of the stadium. It's against in terms of security. So we said, look, under this administration, we must construct the new Ministry of Youth and Sports. So we earmarked that place. We sent people there. They did all of the drawings. We have it with us. We told the police inspector general that we need the facility. He only came to us and appealed to us to at least give them up to the end of August, because these are police officers and their families and what have you. Now, I told the police inspector general even today, because I met with him today, I said, the best and the least you can do for us, ask your people to maintain that facility. Let it be clean. At least send 1 or 2 of the officers there overnight to monitor who's throwing the dice there. But, Patrick, we clean it today. Tomorrow morning, by the time I drive there, I see the garbage there. The PCC will come and clean it overnight. You'll see. So it has become like that until we can know exactly what is happening, whether it's been thrown from in that fence, where the police officers are, or it's from somewhere else. That's why I asked the police to assist us.
Mr. Minister,
So
I
you
know the
ask us
colleague
to
will
give
come
the people
in,
time.
but it cannot stay like that. You say August they will be leaving. The police told you August they will be. The point is, they just fixed that road. They just expanded the road. Right on the road that they expanded, that garbage keeps being there. People are throwing, and we are finding explanation. I don't want to say justification, but something has to be done. That's the point.
But Patrick, something is being done every day. I keep saying to you that the mayor of Pinsville has said to me, in fact, for me, he said he want to go and break down the place. I said, no, I had a discussion with the police inspector general, and he said we should allow them some time. But we are always saying, Patrick, the ministry, we don't have the capacity to man that place overnight. No, we don't have it. So we ask the PCC and the police to assist us. Today, I beg the police director or inspector general to kindly send men there to man the place. That's the only way. I agree, it's the face of the street. But the mayor of PCC, the Peace Vessel Corporation, is aware. And the inspector general, we have communicated with him. He's aware. So they all need to come and assist. That's the only place we got a problem. Nowhere else around our facility has the problem, but that particular area where the police is. And so that's our problem. So again, tomorrow morning, I will go to the PCC head so that we can call the inspector general so that for once we can find a lasting solution to this. But we clean it today. Tomorrow morning, you come, you see the garbage there. It's becoming a regular thing. That's the problem.
Can I ask the minister questions, please? Because I haven't spoken at all. So, Minister, thank you for your service to country, and I appreciate all that you've said. I've been listening, and I heard you say something that the entity is not an income generating entity. But I do know that we have games, the county meet, and I do know that we are collecting from points of entry, right? Ticket sales, for the county meet. When we're having games like foreign games and stuff, we do also, make money. So I was asking what is done with the proceeds of those games. I just wanted to know that part first. And then part two of my question is that I heard you saying that most of I think, I don't know if it's a substance abuse rehab centers that you have, they were already there and you met them. I just wanted to find out, is there any methadone clinic or any uh drug prescribed um rehab where people are tapered off current drugs that they are using so that they don't fall back into the habit, so that they don't recycle? So that's what those are my two questions.
I was saying the number for Dr. Zia, who is the mental health
I'm gonna
head
go
on
to
our
Dr. Zia
team.
again too.
But because you're asking health related questions
No,
now
not health
about
related
drugs.
question. No. There, and also I wanted to ask something. You said when you enter the entity that I want some statistics. You don't, if you don't give credit to yourself for the work that you do, then it goes free. You say you enter the entity, there were a lot of people that were there. There are some that are not there. You don't know the exact amount of people who did not show up. You just said $60,000 was reduced. How many people does $60,000 amount to? I mean, I just wanted some raw numbers. Like I could tell you from Moravia City Corporation, when the mayor took over, it was 1,400 employees that we had there. But after we started trying to match names with paychecks, only 800 people have shown up since that time that he took over till now. So at least if we have 1,400 people, deduct 800. That's the amount of people that right now we know that they're not working at Monrovia City Hall because of the audit that we did, and because we tried to match names with people. So that's the statistics I was looking for. We're not looking for specific amount. Only 60,000. So how many people does 60,000 represent? So those were just my questions. I was listening. Those are the things I wanted you to shine light on.
All right. So when I said we're not income generating, and you talk about the national team, so let me provide some clarity. So the national teams,
Not the national team, county meet. Do you
okay,
raise funds from
yeah,
county meet? How much is generated? That's all. Not the national
let-
team.
so let me just give you general information now. You also need to know about the national team, and that's why I said I will also talk about the national team. The national team is managed by the
That
Liberia Football
question,
Association. It's managed by the Liberia Football Association. So every time games are played, because we turn the national team over to the LFA to manage, so they are responsible for the national team. But we know that over the period, because the national team has some problem with winning games, I mean, Salinsa is in there, he will tell you that we have had problem with throwing out at the stadium. The county meet is one shot, but the county meet is very expensive to run. Very expensive. We gave a report of the county meet. We gave a report of the county meet on the total income that was generated and the total expenditure.
Okay.
I can also send you a copy of that.
Would you
But
like to
if
share
you
in
map,
raw?
yes, yes,
Okay. With the
I will
audience, I
share it with
mean,
you.
they want to know. Okay.
Yeah, but I did that. We had a whole press conference of Fatima after the county meet. I have always done that every year. We have a press conference and release the report to the public. I have a copy of the report. I will forward to you and you can publish it. All right? But I can assure you that when you match the expenditure, because I thought when you see the crowd in there, you think that's the kind of money that is raised, but it's not. Let me tell you one thing. You see the stadium wing? The stadium wing is exclusively for all the athletes that participate in the tournament, whether that's kickball, basketball, football, all of them with the technical staff. They go there free. Then you have our sponsors. Sponsors, because what the government gave is just little. So we talk to sponsors to assist. These sponsors are giving complimentary tickets for the VIP and VVIP. The only area you raise some money is around the field. But when you match that with paying referees indemnity, match commissioners indemnity, police, the fire service, and all of that, I will send you the report. You come to appreciate that nothing is raised. All right? So I will send you the report. But again, what we included in the past 2 county meet is short-term job creation for young people. So now we got Fly and Linsu working with us. They submit the names of young people who are manning the gates, who are serving as hostesses and other people in the VVIP and other areas, and we pay them at the end of the month. So the report I will send you will tell you how much of that was used for short-term job creation, how much was used to pay the Liberian National Police, how much was used to pay fire service, how much was used to bring water, how much was used for sanitation materials, how much was used to pay the almost 100 non-employees who are cleaners, who should sweep the whole stadium. When you see that stadium after the game, and you come back the next day, you see it clean, you think it's magic. You got 100 or more non-employees who are recruited just for that purpose. So the whole thing is not about even generating and making profit. It's about ensuring continuity in the county meet and ensuring that you create some short-term job for our people, whether they're referees, whether they're players themselves. The players themselves is a short-term job creation because the subsidy we give to the counties, they pay their players. Then people also enter the stadium to do business. So it's a big market center during the county meet. All of these people, these are Liberians. We allow them.
Minister Bangalu, if I may come in quickly, then before we come to James Debbah, Fatima asked a particular question. What did you generate from county meet, or how much did you generate, and what you did with it?
Basically, that's all.
So we generated around 16 million Liberian dollars. Let me be accurate. Give me the photo. I will give you the actual figure in 5 seconds. Let my special assistant just give me the photo. But like I said, I provided this report to the public. I had a press conference, and I don't want to give you numbers.
No, Minister, I understand you provided it before, but for the purpose of the show, we like
That's
to
why I
ask
said
these
I will read
questions so
the
the
numbers
audience
to you.
is, the
The
audience
numbers
is
don't have to
aware
be
of what's happening.
exact as they are
Exact.
in
It
the
should be
paper.
around about. That's what I
Yeah.
want. Like
Yeah.
when you
So
said
that's what I said.
this was the part that I really wanted you to talk about because it's something
So
that you've gained.
listen
It's something
to the
that you've done.
report.
The part that I wanted you to talk about, Minister, just give me 1 minute, was you have actually helped save payroll. But you do not know the amount of people. You're just talking about the amount of funds. I would like to know
You can
statistics. If you have 1,000 employees and then you save 60,000, what is 60,000 of the total? How many people did not show up to collect their pay? Those are the kind of statistics I was looking for. But if you don't have it, fine. Just FYI, because you've done a good thing,
because
but you're talking about amount and not, that's all I was asking. Because I'm being asked the same questions to ask you.
all right. So the total income generated amount, total income, considering sponsorship and government contribution and everything. And then the gate intake was 331,000 US dollars and 41 million Liberian dollars. Total income generated. All right? Total expenditure, 295,654 USD, 32,017 Liberian dollars. Total cash balance, 35,346 USD, 9,105,000 Liberian dollars. So, like I said, I can send you the detail on all of the generation. So, the sponsorship, the government contribution, and every other contribution. I have it right here. I can send it to you. But that's just a snapshot of what the total income was.
Thank you, Councilor. Yeah, Patrick, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm coming to you, James. I'm coming.
Okay,
you have a question?
Okay. Yeah, for the minister. I thought you were about to exit. Okay. I have a question for the minister.
Please go ahead, and then I have a question for you too.
Honorable Minister, even though I'm just joining the show, but listening to you briefly and vividly, I must first and foremost commend you. Your assertions have been on point, but there's something you said that caught my attention, which is money was put or allocated in the budget for former national team players.
Yeah,
I don't know. You got to be precise, because when you talk about former national players, there should be a distinction. Because former national players, we have perhaps approximately 200-300 national team players. Yes, there should be some distinction. Perhaps you can say, okay, this money will benefit those who perhaps had, maybe up to 30 selection, because you can't just say former national team players. There should be some precision, because when you say former national player, that's a sweeping statement. There's a lot of former national team players.
These are just recent players.
Exactly, Patrick. To be precise, yes.
You mean
yes, sir.
The organization that is reflected in the budget is the one that is currently chaired by Washington Blade.
Chaired by Washington Blade.
The former national. Yes. That's the organization. It's registered, and that's the one that is reflected in the budget.
So Councilor Bangalu, I think where James Debbah is coming from is when you just say former national team player, there are those who feature on a national team one time.
Sure.
They just one match and they were done 2 matches, 3 matches.
But more, we don't go into those details with the federations and subsidy receiving entities. Once they are registered and they are now reflected in the national budget, they now go on and handle their administrative aspects. There is this organization that is headed by
Honorable Minister, sir, not to cut you. Yeah, that organization that is headed by Washington Blade, with all due respect, that organization has not been authenticated up to now. We're having some leadership problem.
So then, how you want me to? So you need to bring that to my attention as minister. I can't go looking for cases. You got to bring it to my attention that you have issues.
Okay.
How you want me to? I've received no complaint. No.
Yeah, that structure. That organization has not been authenticated. So it's hard to explain.
So you need to bring that to my attention.
Patrick, go ahead. Let ask Jimmy some question, because we're just coming to that issue about the welfare. The welfare of
Jimmy talked about Jimmy talked about the former national team players, and let's stick to the former national team players, because Anthony Laffour is a former national team player. Is he part of this? And if he's not part of this, the public needs to know, because now it has to deal with their welfare, and this is cardinal. Jimmy, have you benefited from this?
Yes, sir.
You've benefited from this?
Benefited from what?
But Patrick,
From this
that question
welfare?
is not fair. No, that question is not
I mean,
fair. I told you. No, Jimmy,
listen to the minister.
Jimmy, just wait.
Yeah.
I told Patrick in this platform that this is the first year. And even at that, it was just last week I got information that that amount has been processed. So how you ask Jimmy if he has benefited?
Yeah,
What we know is that that amount is now accessible to that organization.
Was that the amount George Weah benefited from?
No. That was from the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Corporate social responsibility that you got on LTE. So I mean, we've been assisting. We've been assisting not just Gibro, but the other day Coco Wule. We got information that he was ill through Orlando Kringa. We moved in.
With regards to that, you have done extremely well.
All
I must commend you also.
And I mean, yeah, a number of other interventions we've been making with ailing former national team players.
Yeah, but Patrick, this is the first of its kind. I must commend him for that. You know, has never been. I mean, I must commend the minister for that.
Now, Jimmy, let me ask you
all
one
of those
question.
administrative things, all of those administrative things, if you have issues between me and you, it's not just that organization, but all of the other organizations that are receiving subsidies. If they have issues, normally they will communicate with us and we call them in to mitigate. So if there are issues, Jimmy, just communicate it to us.
No, I'm not part of the organization. I mean, but I've just heard, you know, it was all speculations.
I must say, maybe I need to get. I'm trying to get Senator Jonathan Botcha on as we talk about former national team players. He has proposed to his colleagues at the Liberian Senate a special fund to be set aside, if legislated, that will, you know, benefit former national team players. If that happens, it means that former national team players would have, you know, a special fund secured for that purpose. But Jimmy, I wanted to ask you about some information we're getting during the reign of former President Samuel Doe, you all won a game, and Mr. Doe, former President Doe, bought land for all the national team players around the FDA community. I understand, you know, that Cheido, that's where Cheido had his property. I understand that land is being encroached upon now, and I don't know whether you all have benefited from it or somebody is benefiting from it. You have any idea?
Patrick, I heard that before, but you know, I cannot elaborate on it. You know, I don't know whether it's true or not. You know, I left the country in 1987. So, you know, I can't basically I can't tell you whether it's true or not. But a lot of people has proclaimed that, or you know, I don't know. I don't know whether it's true. No idea. No, not.
The former president did not inform you. I understand he gave land deeds to all of you.
Not to me. Not to me.
And you played for his famous club, Mighty Baru.
Yeah, but perhaps it was after I left. I don't know. Perhaps it was after I left. You know, I left 1987. 1987, 88. So it was perhaps it was after I left. So, you know, I can't elaborate on that.
Jimmy, what do you think about the Liberia Football Association work and as they move on to elections? Of course, the politics of it in picking a president of the FA, and that has an after effect in determining who coaches the national team. There has always been this talk around town that the FA needs, the Youth and Sports Ministry needs to be decisive in ensuring that, you know, working with the FA, that we have a local coach. We do have one now, a local coach, but at the same time in determining who heads the Liberia Football Association. Let me get your take on this.
Yeah, but the relationship between the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the Liberia Football Association has been cordial. It has been cordial. You know, a lot of the problems that are surface, people saying, why is it that the national team is not winning? You know, that's the technical aspect of it. You can't pinch that on the Ministry of Youth and Sports or either the LFA. We have several coaches over the time. I think a protracted period of perhaps 10 years. Butler came. We had who else came? I've always said
You,
this. Okay, the
you
problem.
came.
No, yeah, well, I came. Yeah, okay, I came. But the problem, the solution to this problem has never been hiring foreign coaches. No, that is not the solution. You hire a foreign coach, you gave him up to $10,000, $15,000 a month. $10,000, $15,000 a month. He's taking get the job accomplished. When I was coach, I'm not trying to brag. I just saying something. When I was coach of the national team, I was being paid $2,500.
2000?
$2,500. And I coached the national team for approximately 2.5 years.
But you don't have a certificate. You don't have an A
But
certificate as compared to Butler and all these foreign
I
coaches.
do. I do. Why would I coach the national team if I don't have a certificate? How is that possible? I got my B lessons from here. And I even forwarded, I went to England under Coach Claudio Ranieri. I have my A certificate. I have my A certificate. So yeah, but just to fast forward, Patrick, hiring foreign coaches has never been the problem. It has never been the problem. I think Thomas Kojo is I think he's doing well. Thomas Kojo is doing well. You see, look, I coached the national team for a couple of years. And I'm on record as the only local coach that ever accumulated 10 points. 10 points. You can check the stats. So hiring foreign coaches has never been the problem. We just have to work on our players, that's all. We have to work on the players.
Let me ask. Okay, Fatima, I think you wanted to ask a question.
Yes, yes, I do. And first I'll make a statement because you guys have been talking. I mean, basically, I only said two words on this statement on this show tonight. I to my celebrated star, the most celebrated star. You
Yes,
do
man.
make I've always told you that when I was growing up, you were one of the
You
people
did.
that we idolized. And I
You
met
did.
you way back and I told you, how I felt about you, but that's another story. You've shown that you can play football with your feet and you can still think with your head. And your eloquence, okay, and the way you express yourself shows that people can be educated, can learn things, and can do better.
Sure.
Yesterday, I heard you actually come on because one thing I like about you, you're not one of those. I told you one time, I said, an aunt of mine told me that back in the days, you and her were friends and how you took care of her and you couldn't even remember. That's the kind of person you are. You don't give people bread to eat and come on national TV and say, I fed her, I clothed her, and this is it. You couldn't even remember. I had to remind you before you went
True.
back and thought about
True.
it. So you're the kind of person who I think should have been our sports ambassador if you are not. Be someone because you actually are an example for all Liberians who want to be, and you've actually helped people in sports excel. You're the kind of person that our young boys and our young girls aspire to be like. They want to be like you. And I thank you and I'm grateful for that. My question to you is that A, you said something that touched me so much yesterday and it was profound when you said that your first $1,000 was given to you by the late President Doe. And you felt, and I know in my heart, if you ever came close to that presidency, you would have made sure Mrs. Doe had her rights. You would have given her respect because I've never actually ever heard that you been someone that denigrate women that show off and I mean, none of that. So the question now that I have for you is that why why are some of our people who use football Their foot to play, don't think with their heads. I mean, I just want you to say it plain and simple, because you have shown that you can play football with your feet and you can still
As
think and you can still analyze. So why is it?
I said what I said yesterday, and stood
Period.
by my statement. Yeah, and I stood by my statement. It is written that ingratitude is the worst of vices. Ingratitude. Look, what I want to say is that we came to prominence because of the late President Samuel Kanyando. And I can say that again. We came to prominence because of him, because of those initiatives. I can remember 1986, 26 players under the leadership of the chief patron of sports at the time, the late President Samuel Kanyando, flew 24 players to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil for training. Samuel Kanyando. That's what just one of the initiatives. Fast forward, I want to say that, and I said that yesterday. When we play Ghana Black Star here, I can't remember. I think it was 80. More reminded me of that. More, which year was that? I think it was 87, right? The Salinsa Oppong opening, Salinsa closing. I think it was 87, if I'm not mistaken. 87, 88. After that game, we were carried to the executive mansion to meet the president, Samuel Kanyando. And to my utmost surprise, I know we're going to receive some sort of stipend, okay. But to my utmost surprise, we went to the president, he was upstairs, and he saw the both of us, the former President George Weah and I. He said, you are thank you for the game today, you're doing extremely well, you're put Liberia first. So I will give you a small thing for you to eat more for breakfast. And it was small, I mean, 17, 18 years old. And the president gave us 2,000 United States dollars. $2,000. Imagine $2,000 at that time. That was
Call
my
that old
first
money.
time. Oh yeah,
Old
my first
money.
time receiving that. My first time receiving that kind of sum of money. $2,000. $1,000 for me, $1,000 for the former president. And come on. As I said previously, ingratitude is the worst of vices. You understand? You got to appreciate things that people do for you. Look, this man was there for us. The former first lady. You had to drill the woman here, running all around here, back and forth for her pension. That is. I mean, it's a complete out of disdain. I said that before. He should not have done that. But then again, I was also on the receiving end of that. You remember? I mean, a few years ago, the man called me to the executive mansion. He had me in the lobby for close to 6 hours.
And I heard you cry, Jimmy. I heard you cry.
Yes, 6 hours. I'm not being political here. I'm just saying the facts. A lot of people will say, oh, they'll come for me and they're the sedition. They don't understand. It's not about, this is not about politics. Come on. Let me factual here. I sat in the lobby for 6 hours. But that's cool. It's all right. I accepted it. Nothing wrong with that. Look, I was in all his accolades. We were there to celebrate with him. I would tell you that I have no pinch of jealousy or any hatred for him. I've always supported him. In all his accolades, I was there to celebrate with him. But all I wanted for him to do the right thing. And what happened between he and the former first? He's wrong. And I can say that any day, he's completely wrong. That should have never been the case. This woman was there for us. And look at the narrative. He said, as a matter of fact, he said, he was on his way out. He was traveling, but then the former ambassador, Ozzy, had to, tell him that no. Even if you're on your way traveling, but you got to go to the former first lady and pay your respect. That was not at his own volition. You see that? That was not at his own volition.
James, I want you to come back to this 6 hour story
So
quickly.
I mean, it's completely wrong. I don't care how to try to put some twist on it, but it's completely wrong. It's completely wrong. Me, I've been always objective. I mean, I don't sugarcoat people. I tell you the facts. I don't love me or hate me. I am who I am. You know, I
Oh,
don't
okay.
sugarcoat people. If you do the wrong thing, I will tell you you're doing the wrong thing.
And my
And that is
final
completely,
statement,
yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
my final statement is, Minister and our celebrated star, you guys come here and speak English and make our country look good. We are very proud of you. Thank you so much. I mean, at least when you're
I
speaking,
appreciate
we're
it.
proud Liberians. Thank you so much for your eloquence
Yeah.
and how
But
you express on this show
the
tonight.
former
We'll
president of the
continue
United
to
States,
celebrate
yeah.
you.
But you listen, let me
And
just give you one quotation. The former president
Mhm.
of the United States, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, once said, and I quote, he said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you
For
can do
you,
for your
but what
country.
you can do for your country. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
I always put
so
my country
Fatima,
first, regardless of the
Patrick,
circumstances.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much. Thank you so much.
Uncle.
Patrick,
Yes, sir.
Patrick. Yeah, I just like to add something. And Salinsa struck a very important point. The
Hmm.
national team is not managed by the government. Government does not interfere. It is the Liberia Football Association. The government does not determine the coach of the national team. Salinta was right. That's technical. It is the FA. Fatima, I will not let you go without me giving you the statistics. So there were
Thank you. Thank
4,780,
you.
4,700 and 4,760 beneficiaries. $50 per person. The
Mhm.
60,000 divided by 50, there are about 1,200 who were fictitious. And I hope
Thank
that will
you.
answer this
You
question.
gotta give credit to your work. You took 1,200 people off their payroll. You saved the
Because I
Liberian
want to
government
give you the statistics.
$60,000. That is credit to you. In social work, they say if you never wrote it down, it never happened. You don't get credit for what you say. If you say by word of mouth, it never happened. So thank you for this raw data. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Before we take some
4,760 beneficiaries, 1,200 were fictitious.
That's a
great.
lot. That's a whole lot.
So
Whole lot of human beings.
before we take some calls, I would like to come back to James. He was talking something, and this is not politics, James. It's we just want to find out. And thanks to Fatima for that question, but we want to find out exactly some of the things that we've heard. You were kept 6 hours waiting. It's amazing how you would wait for 6 hours. Who called you for that meeting? You went there to see him, or he called you for the meeting? When was the meeting scheduled for? And
No, that meeting was, I remember that morning around, I think it was 11 o'clock. The former managing director of the National Port Authority, Bill Twari at the time, he called me that morning. He said, well, the president want to meet with you. Yeah, we got something that we want to discuss. So I said, okay. I went to the port that morning to meet him. When I got there, they said, oh, the minister, he's out of meeting, but he told you to wait. He said you should wait. So I said, okay, fine. Now it's normal procedure. So I waited for 10, 15 minutes. He came outside. He said, okay, you brought your car? I said, fine. He said, follow me. Let's go to the mansion. The president want to talk to you. So I said, okay. I got in my car. I followed him. We were then at the foreign ministry. Well, yeah. So when we got to the foreign ministry, parked my car, followed him, and we're going upstairs to meet the president. When we got to the immigration, the security check, they had to do some, which is normal procedure. They had to do their security check. We did that. We passed through. We're about to enter the elevator when he told me, Bill Trotter told me, so no, wait. Let me go talk to the president first. And that's standard procedure. I understood that. So I said, okay. I sat in the lobby. He went upstairs. Was supposed to be 20 minutes. It turned us to 4 or 5 hours. I was there in the lobby. After
wow.
5 hours, yeah, in the process, or Token Roberts, who was the director of the EPS at the time. Choking Robert came downstairs. He saw me. He said, "But what are you doing down here? You're supposed to be down here. Your man upstairs. What are you doing upstairs?" I said, "No, but Bill told me to wait." The manager, the MD told me to wait. He said, "Oh, Bill." Oh, he said, "Okay, but then it'll be all right." He left. A couple of hours after, one of his deputy came, was on his way out. Well, I said, "But my man, what are you doing here? Why you stay here then? What are you doing here? You're supposed to be upstairs." I said, "Chief, the people say I should wait." Wallet also left. After approximately, if I can recall, it was almost 6 hours, if I can recall. Bill Tuari came downstairs. He said, "Oh, Jimmy, let's go home, man. It's okay, let's go home." I said, "Let's go home? I thought I came here to meet the president." He said, "Oh man, it's all right. Everything under control. Don't worry."
Oh, that meeting did not take place?
Did not take place.
Oh my
It did
word.
not take place. It never took place. But that's all right. But what annoyed me the most, couple of days after, Hillary Justin Kono, my friend, I think they had a function at the U.S. Embassy, and Hillary was there to cover that program. I didn't tell Hillary when I was going to the mansion to meet the president. I didn't tell him. That night, Hillary called me. Hillary said, "Oh, my man, the president came to the mansion. The president was at the U.S. Embassy. I covered some program." Or he told me, he said, "Oh, your man Jimmy came to see me." The president now telling Hillary that I went to see him. So I was shocked. I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, the president told me you want to see him." I didn't tell Hillary. That's when, Patrick, I got annoyed. That means the man saw me sitting downstairs on his CCTV or camera, whatever that was. He saw me sitting downstairs. And he allowed me to stay over there and linger over there for a protracted period. Patrick, that's
But
cool.
yet you supported him in a second
Nah,
round.
Piho. Yes.
You did.
Patrick, my mother was a missionary of God. Okay. I was taught in that fashion to forgive and forget. That's why when he called me with no hesitation. And you understand? He's not the one who called me, the matter of fact, it was Eugene Namwe who called me. And I'll always be respectful of Eugene. Eugene called me, Eugene said, "Look, let's bury the crimes. What has happened is happened. Let's forget it." But it was not the president who called me. The man was president for 5 years. He never wanted to pick up phone to say, "Jimmy, what's up?" He's doing 6 years, not one day. And I can even show you all the text messages I sent. I was close to 15, 20 text messages. He never responded. I call him, he don't pick up my call. 6 years plus. Not even one call, say, "Hey, Jimmy, what's up?" 6 years.
You do that one to me, I will choke
But
you.
that's
I
cool.
swear.
I'm not
But
bitter.
have
I let it
you
slide.
spoken with him after the presidency?
I'm a Christian. I'm forgiving. I'm not vindictive like other people. I'm not vindictive, so I let it slide. That's all right, man. That's all part of life.
Yeah,
Jimmy, have you
vindictive.
seen him? Have you
No,
spoken with him after the
Where
presidency?
you going low for
huh?
him? Baker, yeah.
Have you seen
Where
him?
you
Have
going?
you
Spoken to
spoken
him,
with him?
no. And even all his functions, they'll tell you my heart is good. All his functions, and "Oh, my man, let's go play." The president said we should go play. I went on those occasions. I went there multiple times. Even the opening of the Invisible Park, I was there. And other functions, I was there to play with him. But I didn't appreciate what happened after. You come into a function, you call other players to the function, you got close to 35 players, 30 to 40 players, and after the section, he gets in his car, he leaves. Then somebody will come with like, oh, the president left this purse for y'all. Each player will carry 10, they divided $10, $20. I say, "Oh, that's cool, man. I didn't come here for that." And I left.
Period.
But
Period.
yes, you don't call me, you can give me 10,
I'm
20,
playing Jimmy. No way.
$10, $20 and blah.
Joey ain't job your too.
No, my man, Patrick, that's all right. And
He was
that I'm
always
not bitter.
jealous of our
It
celebrated
is,
star.
it
He
is.
was.
Patrick, it is what it is. I'm not vindictive, as I said
Yeah, there are
previously.
Christian people that can
You
really
do it to me,
forgive
it's
you.
cool. You do it to me, it's cool. Yeah, people look Patrick, for me, people look at success differently. To me, success is relative. I'm successful in terms of where I came from. So I always look back to my community to help other people. I help people, the whole lot of people I help in this country, but I don't talk it. I will not talk it. They will come out and proclaim it. You understand? And not that type to say, oh, I get it, man, $2 and go publish his name.
Never.
No, I will never do that, Patrick. I help a whole lot of people, Patrick. I took almost all my family members from here. I educated all of them, me. And even my friends in my local, my former locality, Fiamma, Old Road. I don't want to talk on that, you know, because it's not divine. You know, you can say certain things you can't say. But it is what it is. The man excluded me for 6 years to close to 7 years. That's cool. I don't got nothing in my heart for him. No malice, you know. I'm all right. 6 years. You and myself, basically, we play almost for the same team on 2 different occasions. Well, AS Monaco, we went to Al Jazeera together. I mean, my heart is clear for you. My heart is clear for him any day. You know, I don't keep malice. I don't do that.
Were you at PSG with him together? PSG?
No. When I got to PSG here, I already going to AC Milan. But even on the national team, you know, I mean, no.
Do you think the rivalry came out? The rivalry came out.
Rivalry on what? Rivalry on what?
During normal days, we used to play with IE and Barrow.
I am more competitive. Yeah, I am more competitive. My competitive nature put me in a different position. And you understand? I mean, that doesn't mean I will hit it. That doesn't mean I'm against it. No, football is competition. Football is competitive. But you know, people, when you look, Patrick, I have never been the person to talk. I don't talk. I'm quiet. You know, I'm a recluse. I don't not the people who put my feelings outside. You know, I hold it in. I'm a man. You know, for that man to be president for 6 years and never one day, not once, he could have telephoned and said, Jimmy, hello, how you doing? Not once. Imagine that in 6 years, not once. So you see what I'm saying? So when Eugene called me, it's going election and said, look, Jimmy, let's bury the crimes. You know, it is what it is. I said, okay, Eugene, cool. You know, I got nothing against it.
All right, let's take some calls. I mean, a very interesting story, very revealing. And I'd like to also thank the Minister of Youth and Sports for specifically.
Yeah, but the minister is still, Patrick, the minister is still in office. So
the minister is still in office.
Honorable Minister Patrick, can I get in jet? I just want to say something.
Please go ahead.
Patrick, you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, it's just something I want to say about the LFA. A lot of people, you know, we can't shift blame. The LFA is trying. Look at the various infrastructure that has been erected. That is unprecedented. Sure. It's unprecedented. Look at the recent opening of the Ganta Sports Stadium. Actually, we never had that kind of facilities. Imagine if we had those facilities back then. Actually, I swear to God, I would have scored 30 to 45 goals per season. You play on the AstroTurf. We were playing on gravel, Patrick. The kids now should be appreciated of what Mustafa Raji has done. They have the opportunity.
Do you support his re-election?
Thank you. Support it? Support what?
His re-election, Raji, or you support
100%. 100%. 100%. 100%.
Patrick, between me and
you can quote me on that. 100%.
Minister, go ahead.
I think he should be given another chance to continue what he started.
But Patrick running too fast with the poll election is wait next year.
I know,
is doing a lot this year. Mustafa is doing a lot this year. That could come
Patrick, you political, my man. Patrick, you political anyway.
Mustafa has done extremely well. I mean, I'm looking at Jimmy, the FIFA Arena project that earmarks 1,000 mini pitches in Africa. Liberia was selected to pilot. As we speak, Babo Way Mission, artificial turf is being constructed there. And in the barracks, artificial turf is being constructed on the field there. Those pilot projects would lead to so many other pitches across the country benefiting. So like Jimmy said, give Mustafa his flower. He has done
No,
extremely well for football development. Yes.
exactly.
All right, let's take some calls and then we can come across to close it up. Harris, if you are backstage, can you come up so that we can take some calls from the studio? 0776-590-714. For those of you outside of Montserrado County, that's your number. You can call us if you're in the counties. If you are listening to us wherever you are, Grand G there, all those areas, 0776-590-714. Harris, let me see. Let me see whether Harris is available. Harris isn't available, but let me take this caller. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Your name and where are you calling us from?
Hello.
Your name and where are you calling us from?
Good evening. I'm Mr. Copper. Jeremy?
Can you go
lower the
on?
volume.
Yeah.
Yes, it's low.
Okay, then talk.
Okay, first of all, I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to the... Hello?
Oh man, go ahead.
Okay, Pastor, thank you so much for your show tonight. I'm really happy to hear Salinsa Debbah in studio or on the land tonight. I'm speaking.
Oh, my man, you got to...
So, Salinsa, let me say this. The issue with your man, the former president, I was one of those who play with you guys. And at the time, it is Salinsa that brought our men to come in. I would say this fair. Salinsa that were telling
Wells Heston.
to all intersection there. I wish that we all were in general dressing. It was Salinsa the one that designated our men to come to general dressing to attend general dressing. Okay? So if all of those things do recognize Salinsa is just unfortunate for him. But Salinsa know that yes, indeed we all play together, and you better a very good friend at the time we all play together.
Okay.
I mean, he just to continue to keep malice in the heart for people.
Okay. All right.
Thank
you very much. Let me take one more. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
My name is Senator Howard Call from the Rehab Bill.
Go ahead.
Say thank you to James Salinsa Debbah in studio there with you guys, and thank you for the show. You see, James Salinsa Debbah, the people that are very more good and know how to talk to people and know how to do things. And in the main men are never a national team. I prefer James Salinsa Debbah being the coach for that national team because he knows the national team players in this country, and he knows the secret of the national team in this country. Joey are saying Joey and men are very wicked, ungrateful. Anything is too good to start saying it on earth. And we here for that type of thing. So the people that talk about Joey are there, they back on that side.
Thank you very much. One of the biggest news tonight is that the Minister of Youth and Sports has just informed us that the next county meet will be played in the night under the fog lights. That's a very big news. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
That's what you doing. That radio that on. Now what delaying the whole thing. So go ahead. Your name, where you calling from?
Good evening, man. My name is Atiku Abdulrahman Islam Franklin Kawai, and I'm in Monrovia. Let me say a pleasant good evening and pleasant thank you to all of you, the panelists, for this show tonight. I mean, I'm just here and I'm delighted by the way, James Salinsa Debbah expressed himself plainly. And every time I listen to James Salinsa Debbah and the rest of what assembly, it brings to mind as to why the George Weah was with these guys and he did not learn how to express or to even speak English. of the president, after of the president, the military, yes. I made a recommendation. I wrote a recommendation in the comment section. I want the government to make this. I wanted the deputy minister for and the minister of youth.
Okay, Ko Bangalore, yeah. Maybe Ko Bangalore will take that one to the president. Hello? Ko, come to you for that one. Yeah, take that one. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you calling us from?
I'm Daniel D. We have joined you from a GSA resident.
Okay.
People asking for WhatsApp number.
I want to be so grateful to all of you there in studio meeting. I heard the Minister of Youth Sport talking about youth. Oh, and I heard say a lot about rehabilitation. But my question is, the rehabilitation, it can actually stop those kids from going to the street. It can actually stop them from going. The more you build, like maybe 4,000 to 5,000 rehabilitation cells, it will never stop them from going to the street. So my question is, why are some of those things that they are putting together that will prevent the children from doing the drugs, and instead of getting more rehabilitation centers?
The minister is taking note. I'll take 2 more, and then maybe Fatima has some WhatsApp callers to take 3 WhatsApp callers. So I'll take 2 more from this end. Hello? Yes, sir. Oh, too bad. We lost you the line. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Nasana Kuruma calling you from Kanta.
From Ganta. How are you listening?
Oh, I live in Grendu.
I say, how are you listening? How are you following the program?
Oh, I'm following the program in Morovia.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, I want to talk with Mo Ali, I thank for Minister this evening, and I thank for Salinsa Debbah. So we should get a national team to Salinsa Debbah. That's what I'm concerned to.
Tell the minister here. He right here.
Okay, we'll tell the minister. You tell the minister, so we should get a national team to Salinsa Debbah. The team will improve.
Okay.
Yeah. And I want to talk Mo Ali.
Yeah, more off the stage right now. You'll come back. The final caller from my end. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
The ACO. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been monitoring the show, although I got there late. But I'm Sigurd Daniel, a former player of Barrow and the National Port Authority. I overheard you saying that the former Lone Star player. I just want to make this clarity, even though Jimmy is there in the studio. But that has been dissolved long ago. We have the former national football player of Liberia. That's the name we decided to play. Because not all the players that play on the national team. You look at I want you to do research on it. You know? The former Lone Star player has been dissolved. Maybe if you are not aware. So we try to bring all the players back together, those that play for Partner, St. Joseph Warrior, IE, etc., etc. So, but some people trying to keep on mind the existing of the former national football player like instead. They keep using.
Who do you think is trying to undermine that?
Huh?
Who do you think is trying to undermine the existence of the
LFA and the youth and sports? Because they recognize certain of the people there. And we took serious exception of this. In fact, I want you to include the former national football player Liberia.
Who is the head of your group?
The Washington play.
But I see Washington play the man talking about here.
No, but the man been there for 27 years. We are not having election.
27 years? Like Tottenham, 27 years?
27 years.
27 years?
We had a meeting at J.J. Ross School. J.J. Ross School on Ashman Street. And we changed the name. Because you go to Ghana, Nigeria, here and there, what have you, they don't just say Black Star player. They name all the players. Even those that didn't play on the national team.
Okay. Thank you.
We wanted to stop the segregation. I hope you can invite me. We can come there to discuss the thing. Because we have a lot of scenarios that we can talk about.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Some players, let me get clear quick.
Yeah.
Some players are being sick, they are not even being catered to. They do it partially in Liberia. And even some of the players that could go for treatment. Then we are very united together. But Washington players try to keep the whole, he suppressed the organization because he want to be president for life. We never had a democratic election before. This, I'm one of the lead campaigners for election for the former players.
All right. Thank you.
He met the senator before, but I told him to do a communication to LFA, youth sports, and even to the house of.
We have to go now. Thank you, Chief. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. I want you to record.
Thank you now. Thank you. All right. Okay. Anyone has a call? If not, they will just come and close it up. Anyone? Nobody? Minister?
I just got a call apologizing for not showing up, but that was
Okay. I understand. Minister, there was a specific question about rehabilitation.
Prevention.
People do what?
Yes, so trust me, that question is fair enough. The caller is talking about, rather than just focus on rehabilitation, talk about prevention. So that brings into sharp focus. At a program the other day, a lot of people were saying, we're losing the war on the demand side. Let's focus on the supply side. Well, that's where the Drug Enforcement Agency, as part of this multi-sectorial task force, comes in. They are fighting to clamp down on the supply side. But whether you like it or not, there's a demand for drugs by the young people. So we also have to do what we can to ensure that those who are already victimized go through the rehabilitation process. The other caller says Salinsa is his recommendation for coach. Congratulations. But like I said,
Minister,
the Liberia Football Association makes that determination. How does it harm me if Salinsa were to be appointed coach? It does not.
but Honorable Minister, that's not what. No,
not you. It was a caller that recommended you.
Yeah,
I recommend Salinsa, the guy from Kanta.
I have been in that capacity. I have been in that capacity before. I pay my dues.
Chief,
it's done. Yeah.
But you can't stop the caller from recommending that. So
no, I know. I agree. I agree.
But then the former player talk about the former national players. He's right.
Yes.
That's what reflected in the budget. Former national players. So Patrick, it means I play for Fair Flying Eagle. It means I can benefit from. I can benefit.
And you are also a coach.
And you the five mental school. You the five mental school penalty way here. You the five mental school penalty way here.
I know.
It makes you quite say Raphael.
Yeah.
That need that.
Yeah.
Raphael.
I'm a name. I'll be a defender.
The coach.
Jimmy,
yeah.
Of course, yes. You don't recognize that before the war, in Fuya, in Vonjama, the football could be equated to a second division now, or third division. I agree. Division. I challenge you.
No, I agree.
So
I agree.
Don't condemn us. Patrick, what are you talking about?
Patrick, the standards were high. The standards were high.
It was high. And the issue, like I said, we're supposed to have a national football conference.
Yes.
We said national sports, but we have exclusively football. We don't discuss what's really the problem. It's no longer about infrastructure.
I concur, yeah. Yes.
It's no longer about infrastructure. You got a national stadium. You got the one in Buchanan. You got the Keresburg. You got the ATS that's been refurbished. And you got Tusa Field. You got SKD practice field. all artificial turf. The SK
Yes.
mean pitch. So it's no longer about infrastructure. There's something else.
No,
So
no,
we need to have
no.
that conference. We can make a determination on what's
Yeah,
happening. What is it that is happening in Equatorial Guinea differently? What is it that is happening in
yeah.
Mauritania? Happening in Guinea differently? We need to do that research. Instead of saying, Coach, Salinsa, you're being appointed
Yes,
as a special envoy from tonight,
exactly.
so that we can sit
I,
down and look at
I,
this
I, su-
together.
I support that recommendation. I support that.
Yeah, and see how we can come out with lasting solution about this once and for all. But I believe we can get
Patrick,
there. And again,
Defender has been there for
Patrick,
27
Patrick,
years.
Patrick, Patrick,
well,
Patrick, the
don't
minister,
get into the people thing.
Patrick, the minister is right. I think we have to converge and see what we can do. Yeah.
Salinsa is deliberately avoiding our Washington Blade discussion. And there's a reason for that. So
Like
please.
Barrow man.
But man, I eat that other talk there. I know that man. I eat it.
Salinsa would never go. Salinsa was never going to that Washington Blade discussion.
No, minister, I ain't that talk. Minister, I ain't that talk. I wash my hands. I know that man.
Let me tell you the other news because they asked me what's training. What's training
Yeah.
is that Mo Ali's water and sewer were catastrophically defeated from the knockout stage of the intra-governmental tournament, and Patrick Horner's LTA were controversially came back as one of, I don't know, it says what? Best losers. Best losers.
Oh,
and
really?
so we qualified. Yeah, best losers.
P-Ho, after you wore that jersey, they beat you that day, you were pretending like you
loser.
got 4 goals.
No, they didn't beat us. We
Yeah.
won 4. They didn't beat us.
Best loser. You the best.
They
you
say
came
best
as
loser.
That information is false, baseless, and misleading. Only fit in the belly of the devil.
You have been celebrating you the whole week. Oh.
I know, Patrick, that man.
They came in as best losers. Best losers.
I say he came in
And
the
then they
full
celebrated
gear. He matching
next
jersey
match-
and he everything, iron store, everything. Nah,
next
man.
match-
Salinsa, you know what he said? Salinsa,
No.
you know what he said? He said Ivory
No.
Coast came in as best loser and they carried the cup. So he can help him with LTA too. What he said?
But now you know that scenario. Now you know one year.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me come to you all to give your final comments. Debbah, let me begin with you. I'm sure you listen to the callers, and just in summary, the callers want to play some kind of lead role in developing sports in our country. I think, in a nutshell, that's what people really want.
I agree, Patrick. I agree. But I have paid my dues within that capacity that I served. I would rather prefer a more technical, position, meaning that will have to do with sports, but with emphasis on football. That will have to do with sports, ambassadorial something that have to do with, ambassadorial within that position. He did mention the coach, yes, as I said, Patrick. I think hiring the coach.
Jimmy, have you met the president? Have you met the current president? You
not yet. Not yet, Patrick. Not yet.
Please meet him.
Yeah,
Do you have
I
any
will.
idea whether he's an IE fan or Barrow fan?
Okay, I agree, Patrick. Yeah, but as I said, in conclusion, yes, I will rather prefer serving a more vibrant capacity than being the coach of the national team, because that position, I served once in that position, and I served it with distinction. That's all what I did. I served it with distinction. So, yeah, I would appreciate if I'm serving a more vibrant position this time around. But thank you, Patrick, for having me, man. I really appreciate it. Honorable Minister, I must commend you again. What you did for George Weah and what you're doing continuously, this is unprecedented. It has never happened before. I must applaud you for that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Jimmy, look forward to hosting you again, man.
Anytime, Patrick. Anytime.
We appreciate you, celebrated star.
Fatima, I appreciate it. From my heart.
You know how I feel about you. Already know how I feel about you. By the way, Jimmy was a groomsman in my wedding. Okay, that's how much I love that man.
Tell them.
Yes.
It makes a brother. He should call a man Jacques Chirac.
Fatima, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I adore you. I really do.
Patrick, Honorable Minister, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Jimmy. Thank you
Thank you,
so
Jimmy.
much.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay,
so
sir.
much. All right.
Why
Mr.
one minister here bake you?